Welcome and introduction. What does it mean to be a martyr? Is it about death, or is it about something much greater? In Martyrdom, Arise and Bear Witness, Ali Shariati, one of the most revolutionary Islamic thinkers of the modern era, redefines martyrdom, shahadat. He argues that true martyrdom is not just about dying, it's about resisting, standing for truth, and refusing to surrender to injustice. This book is not just a philosophical discussion, it is a call to action, a challenge to rise up against tyranny, and a lesson from history on the power of sacrifice. Let's explore the key themes of Shariati's powerful work. First, the meaning of martyrdom more than just death. Point number 1: Martyrdom is not passive, it is active resistance. Shariati rejects the idea that martyrdom is simply about dying for a cause. Instead, he defines it as a conscious choice to struggle against oppression, even at the cost of one's life. Point number 2: Two types of death. Passive death, when a person dies without meaning, without a cause. Martyrdom, when a person consciously chooses to sacrifice themselves for truth, justice, and freedom. Point number 3: Martyrdom is about bearing witness. A martyr is someone who does not surrender to falsehood, even when the whole world submits. Their death is not just an end, it is a statement, a revolution, and an inspiration for others. Key takeaway: true martyrdom is not about wanting to die, it's about refusing to live under oppression. Second, martyrdom versus suicide, the key difference. Point number 1: Martyrdom is a choice for truth, not an escape from life. Shariati warns that martyrdom must not be confused with self-destruction. Suicide is driven by despair, it is an escape from suffering. Martyrdom is driven by hope, it is a sacrifice made to create a better future. Point no: to martyrs inspire, they do not give up. A martyr's sacrifice gives life to others, awakening the sleeping masses. They die so that others can live freely, with dignity and justice. Key takeaway: martyrdom is not about despair, it is the highest form of faith and resistance. Third, the role of Imam Hussain, as, and Karbala in true martyrdom. Point number 1: Karbala, the ultimate example of martyrdom. One of Shariati's central themes is the sacrifice of Imam Hussain, as, in Karbala. Imam Hussain, as, knew he would be killed, but he chose to stand against tyranny rather than submit. Point number 2: Why didn't Imam Hussain, as, surrender? He had two choices: submit to an unjust ruler or sacrifice himself to expose corruption. His martyrdom was not a loss, it was a victory, because it awakened the Muslim world. Point number 3: Shariati's view on Karbala. Hussain, as, did not seek death, he sought truth. His sacrifice gave meaning to Islam, showing that faith without struggle is meaningless. Key takeaway: Imam Hussain, as, proved that martyrdom is the most powerful form of resistance, it turns death into a revolution. Fourth, how martyrdom challenges oppressors. Point number 1: Martyrs are more powerful than tyrants. A tyrant rules through fear and oppression, but a martyr removes the fear of death. The death of a martyr is a defeat for the oppressor, because it inspires people to rise up. Point number 2: Martyrdom is a message to the future. The impact of a martyr is not limited to their own time. History remembers martyrs as heroes, while oppressors fade into obscurity. Point number 3: Examples of martyrdom changing history. 1. Imam Hussain, as, at Karbala, his stand inspired countless movements for justice. 2. Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr., their deaths did not silence their message, it made them even stronger. 3. Shariati's own revolutionary call, his writings on martyrdom inspired the Iranian Revolution. Key takeaway: a martyrdom is a weapon against oppression, it makes tyrants afraid and awakens the masses. Fifth, how can we apply the concept of martyrdom today? Point number 1: Martyrdom is not just physical, it is a way of life. Not everyone needs to die to be a martyr. We can live as martyrs by resisting injustice in our daily lives. Standing for truth in an unjust world is a form of modern martyrdom. Point no to Shariati's challenge to us. 1. Don't be silent in the face of oppression. To live with purpose, struggle for truth, even when it is difficult. 3. Understand that real change comes through sacrifice. Key takeaway: martyrdom is not just about death. It's about how we live our lives, standing for justice and truth. Final thoughts: why this book matters. Ali Shariati's Martyrdom, Arise and Bear Witness, is a revolutionary manifesto that challenges us to rethink what it means to sacrifice for truth. 1. Martyrdom is not about death. It is about refusing to submit to falsehood. 2. Martyrs do not escape life, they give life meaning through their sacrifice. 3. Imam Hussain, and Karbala are the ultimate examples of martyrdom as resistance. 4. Tyrants fear martyrs because their message lasts longer than any empire. 5. Martyrdom is a way of life, living for justice, truth, and struggle. What does martyrdom mean to you?